Good morning, friends. In the last few lectures, we studied design about the short shoe brake. So, what is you may be confused. So, what is mean about the short shoe brake and what is mean about the long shoe brake? So, short shoe brake means if angle sustained. So, this angle. If this angle is, suppose this is theta, so theta is less than 45 or 60 degree. In the sum of the books, this is given in Bhandari 45, this is 60 in RS Kurmi, and Aroli, this is given 60 degree. When this angle is less than 60 degree or 45 degree, so this is called short shoe brake. And when this angle theta, this is small, so theta is greater than 45 degree or 60 degree greater, so this is called long shoe brake. So if theta equal to 70 degree, this is called long shoe brake. So in the short shoe brake, if theta this is less than or equal to 45 degree, so the distributions of the pressure and this coefficient of friction is constant. And this is equally uniform distributions, and this coefficient, this is the uniform coefficient of the friction is constant, and this is distribution is uniform. And if this angle is theta is greater than 45 degree or 60 degree, so this coefficient of the friction, so this is not, this will increase and that is called equivalent coefficient of friction, and mu dash equal to, so this is equivalent coefficient of the friction. Notation mu dash equal to mu into, so this is 4 sine, this is 2 theta plus, I will check this formula, 4 sine theta plus sine 2 theta. So by using these relations, you can calculate, and this is the equivalent coefficient of the frictions when this angle is greater than 45 degree or 60 degree, because in the some of the cases this may be given short shoe brake, means long shoe brake. So that times when the long shoe brake is given, so that times we have to consider this is the equivalent coefficient of the friction instead of the coefficient of the frictions. So we have to calculate first equivalent coefficient of the frictions, otherwise your problem may be wrong, or minimum your 50% above the marks that may be deduct during the examination. Or being as a design engineer, you should know what is mean above the equivalent coefficient above the frictions and how you can differentiate short shoe brake and long shoe brake. Short shoe brake means that angle subtended by the shoes that is less than 45 degree or 60 degree, and if the angle is more than 45 or 60 degree, because in the some of the different books this is given, but I consider this is theta equal to 45 degree, that is given in the Bhandari, but in Airoli also that is given 60 degree. So that is the issue. So how much is the angle is to be considered? So you can consider, because this is the during the designing, so that times that value may be given in the some of the design data book. So please note down today's first problems. Figure shows a long shoe brake, a long shoe brake find the power absorbed, find the power absorbed and the force P, and the force P. So this force P means this is nothing but the actuating force that is to be calculated. If the maximum pressure intensity is, if the maximum pressure intensity is 0.8 megapascal, assume mu equal to 0.25, the width of the shoe is 50 mm, 50 mm. Figure given. So this end is the pivot end, this is lever, here force actuating P, this distance is the B, and this distance given 280. This is this angle equal to 90 degree. And this drum diameters, this is 255. So this is rotating anti-clockwise. Oh sorry, this is 150. This is equal to 150. Drum equal to. So first we will focus on the actuating force. So can I draw free body diagram of the levers? So this actuating force, if this is rotating, means okay, sorry, this is clockwise given. So this is opposite mu n, and this is mu n, this is pivot end, this is force P, and this reactions, this is n. So that's why here's this is 280 and this is 250. Now by taking moments about pivot end, P into 250 plus 280 equal to, this is anti-clockwise moment and this moment also anti-clockwise. Both moments are anti-clockwise. So that's why n into 280 plus mu n into, so this distance also we require, this distance also we require. So this may be given this is equal to 125. This is equal to 125. So that's why this is 150 means this is 75. So this is equal to 150 minus, sorry, this is 125 minus 150 divided by 2. So equal to 50 mm. So try to understand this, because this is 75 and this is total 125. This is 125 minus 150. So this becomes 50. So 50 mu n. So this is equivalent coefficient of the friction multiplied by 50. So now we have to calculate the n equal to. So n equal to pressures equal to force divided by area. So force equal to, this is the n, and area equal to, width is given, means B equal to, and this is length. Now we require length because this n and this B is known. So n and this pressure is also known, 0.8. So we can calculate that n, but we should know L. So L equal to, how we can calculate, because this angle is given. This angle is sine 45, suppose this is B and this is R equal to 75. So that's why sine 45 equal to B divided by R, or B equal to R into sine 45, and length equal to 2B. So that's why this is 2R. Sorry, suppose this is X. So this is north, two into R sine 45. So after that n equal to, so first we will calculate this 2 into R equal to 75 into sine 45 equal to how much? Sine 45 multiplied by 150 equal to 106. So total length equal to, this is one diameter 150 means this may be correct. So pressure equal to force divided by L into B. So N equal to pressure multiplied by L into B. Pressure 0.8. This is 106 point something what will be B, and this is B. N equal to 0.8 multiplied by 50. This is 42.6 Newton. Now this P into 530 equal to N into 4242.6 in bracket. This is 280 plus, okay. Now we have to calculate this mu dash equal to. So mu dash equal to mu into 4 sine theta into 2 theta plus sine 2 theta. Equivalent coefficient about the frictions. Mu equal to 0.25. 4 sine theta equal to, and this is sine theta. So whether this is right. So this total angle equal to, this is 2 theta. This is equal to 2 theta. So that's why this is 90 degree. So this requires in a radian, and this is 90 degree, and this is 45 degree. So such type of the things, if you are calculate, means you will get. So this 2 theta equal to 90 degree. So 90 into pi divided by 180 plus sin 90 2.50 1 divided by answers multiplied by 4 multiplied by sin 45 multiplied by 0.25. This is equal to 0.275. Now you can put this value in this first equation. or this equation is the suppose first equation. So P into 530 4242.6 multiplied by 280 plus 0.2750 multiplied by 50. Two three 51 Newton. P equal to 2351 Newton. So this is the actuating force. So what is to be calculated? Figure shows a long find the power absorbed and the force P. So the power absorbed equal to so we have to calculate the torque. So torque equal to torque, braking torque equal to frictional force multiplied by velocity. Sorry, multiplied by, this is basic formula, radius. So frictional force mu into n into radius equal to 75. This is again 0.2750, n equal to 42.6 multiplied by 75. 2750 and this is equal to 87503 Newton. So this is EMM, or this is 87503 joule. Because this is 75, this is in radius. Braking torque. Find the power absorbed. Now power equal to 2 pi nt divided by 60 into 10 to the power 6. This is formula. So 2 pi RPM, we require RPM. So n equal to, this RPM is given, RPM n equal to 900 RPM, because without this RPM we can't calculate. So this torque, this is taken Newton mm, because we consider this is 6 into 10 to the power 6. Multiplied by 900 multiplied by 2 sorry 87503 multiplied by 900 multiplied by 2 multiplied by pi divided by 60 divided by 10 to the power 6. So this is equal to 8.24 kilowatt power is absorbed. So this is expected answer. In some of the cases, now up to this we studied only one side of the brake. So if the brake is only one side, so here because of the applications of the force that is from one side, so here shaft of the brake drum that may be bent. So that's why equal and opposite forces means equal and opposite normal force that may be applied. Suppose this force applied from the both side. So here's so in this case chances of bending of brake drum shaft minimize. So means this is the if the force is applied from the both side, so equal and opposite forces. So because of that chances of the bending of the shaft. And here's for small size for same power absorption less size of brake can be used. So that's why the drum size that can be decreased, and this is the balanced conditions. So that's why you can say design is also compact. And if so, this is second advantage. So this is first, and third advantage is design becomes compact. Design becomes compact. So these are the three advantage. If we are instead of the single shoe brake, if we are using, so this is double shoe brake. Double shoe brake. So this is advantages. So that's why today we'll see one problem related with the double block brake. So please note down this advantage, because we are conducting surprise test that is based on the. So these are the advantages of the double shoe brake. So this is double shoe. So one side and this is on other side, or equal and opposite forces. So please note down this. Note, a double block brake, a double block brake is shown in figure. Is shown in figure. The drum rotates at 80 rpm when the applied force F is 2350 Newton, and coefficient of the friction is, and coefficient of friction as 0.3. Employing free body diagram, determine the braking torque and the amount of heat generated. The amount of heat generated per unit time if diameter of drum is 500 mm. This figure is given. This is rotating anti-clockwise. This distance this is equal to 310. This is 310 This is also 310, and this is total 590. So that's why, because here this is the force acting, and this force equal to P equal to 2350 Newton. This distance equal to 150, and this distance equal to 55. So this is short shoe brake. So here this is the lever. This force is the suppose. This is yes. This is yes. Now this is a left shoe. So that's why this is here a reaction NL, and here a reaction NR. So first we will draw free body diagram. So this force is acting, tensions is acting. So that's why here this force is equal and opposite force, because we are drawing free body diagram. So that's why this is yes. Here this force is the actual, and its equal and opposite force means this is NL. So this distance 310, and this is total 590. So another any force. Okay, because here's frictional force occur. So here this is frictional force mu NL, and here mu NL opposite. So that's why here this is mu NL. So we have to calculate NL. So by taking lever, so this is lever, this distance is 55, and this distance is 150. This force P equal to 2350. So this force is the here yes. So equal and opposite force acting here, this is yes. So here now by taking moment, so equal and opposite moments, so yes into 55 equal to 2350 multiplied by 150. So yes equal to this is 6409 Newton. Yes equal to, now by taking this, by taking free body diagram for left hand shoe equal to. Now take moment. By taking moment, moments, S into 590 plus, so this is 310 and this diameter is the 250, so that's why mu NL into 310 minus 250, because this diameter equal to 500 mm. So that's why this distance equal to radius equal to 250 mm plus NL into this distance equal to 310. NL normal force multiplied by 310, and this is equal to 0. Okay. So these forces are opposite, so that's why we have to take this is equal to. So S equal to 6409 multiplied by 590 plus 0.3 or NL into 0.3 multiplied by 50 otherwise we can take this is in right hand side, so NL 300 minus 0.3 into 50, so NL equal to 6409 590 divided by 300 minus 15. Multiplied by 590 divided by 285. So this is 60. 0.3 means, so this is 18. And this is 310. So this such type of the small mistake should not be happen during the examination. 6409 multiplied by 590 divided by 292. All right. So this is equal to 12,949 Newton. So similarly, you can calculate for right hand side about the torque, means right hand side of the shoe. So here is, this is yes, means equal and opposite force acting yes. This normal force acting, this is an R, and this is rotating. Likewise means this is mu n R. This distance equal to 310. Again this distance 60 and this distance 590. So by taking moments about right hand side shoe, so this is anti-clockwise, this is also anti-clockwise. So this is clockwise, mu n R into 310 equal to, yes, this is also clockwise. Plus mu n R into 60 equal to yes into 590. So n R 310 plus 0.3 into 60 equal to 6409 multiplied by 590. n R equal to 6409 590 divided by 328. Six multiplied by 590 divided by 328 equal to 11,528 Newton. Previous 12,950, right, 28.38 Newton. So right. So now total. So what is to be calculated? Determine the braking torque. Braking torque equal to frictional force multiplied by radius. So mu into nr plus nl into radius. 0.3 nr 11.528.38 plus 12,950 multiplied by radius equal to 250. This is equal to 35 joule or Newton meter. Heat generated equal to what is formula? Frictional force multiplied by velocity. So frictional force equal to 0.3 into 950, right, frictional force, velocity equal to, so you can consider this is pi dn divided by 60,000. So this is angular velocity. 11528 multiplied by, so this is 950. So this is not average velocity, this is the initial velocity I consider, because this is per unit that is given, so that's why I consider that, multiplied by pi, d equal to 11528 plus 12950 11528 plus 12950 multiplied by 0.3 multiplied by pi multiplied by 0.5, sorry, this is 500 because I already consider, multiplied by RPM. RPM is required 80 divided by 60,000. So this is 15.37 kilo joule, right. So these are the problems related with the short shoe brake, long shoe brake, and this is single side short shoe brake, and this is double side double shoe brake. So in the next class we will start, this is the external expanding brake, so that we can cover the maximum syllabus related to the brakes. So that's why today I stop here. Thank you.